Hi everybody, and welcome back to Sea Glass Archaeology. I'm just making a quick trip with my doggies, as you can see by the leashes around my neck, but I made a few discoveries out on my shoreline as it's starting to clear up from all the seaweed, and I wanted to share it with you. Check out this amazing find, everybody. I was just walking the doggies and I did a little bit of kicking, and I found this piece, and it's an old mammalian or a kick-up from the bottom of a bottle. You know, it's kind of neat because I found that bottle a few months ago, and it matches right up to this right over here. You can see that it's really worn down, but it's flat on the bottom. So this would have been the inside of the bottle, and this would have been the outside bottom right over here. So I'm at the low tide mark right now, and I came across this piece of turquoise right over here, and I really wanted to share it with you because you can see there's an H and an E, and then that third letter is going to be a little bit of an M. So this is going to be from an old Hemingway insulator, a 42 model. Okay, so now I've got the camera rolling after those two finds, and hopefully I'm coming up to the next pile here, and we're going to see, you can see it's well aged, it's aged to perfection, that there's a little bit of sea glass on the surface, and these are the smaller pebbles that I would be accustomed to finding sea glass in. So hopefully I'm going to find something, but first I'm just going to give it a little bit of a surface peek. Look at this piece right over here. It's a beautiful aqua seafoam shard, and it's aged to like a 9.8 out of 10. It's absolutely spectacular. Okay, let's keep this going here, everybody. Little tiny piece right over here. And now let's see what else we can find. Big game hunting here. Oh, tiny little piece, but I'm going to take them all because I use them all. I really should set the camera up here, I'm thinking. Oh, look at that! Oh my gosh, I absolutely should set the camera up. Look at this right over here. So this is gonna be a beautiful piece of aqua blue, and we found this before. I think we found this about 6 or 8 months ago, and this is gonna be the top of like an old mason jar. I find a lot of these over the years because as time progressed and people had refrigerators as opposed to just ice boxes, there was less of a need for food preservation in canning jars, and this one's just absolutely beautiful. I have to say that almost every single time I find one of these, they are absolutely stellar specimens. I've already taken the doggies out for about an hour and a half, so they're pretty tired right now. That's why you don't hear them barking, and it's allocating me a little bit of free time so I can dig through these piles and make these discoveries that I've made so far. Oh, nice little piece of blue right there. It's tiny. Trixie, get away from the camera. Come on, Trixie, you gotta get out of here. Give me a few more minutes, please, okay? A few more minutes. I know I'm gonna make another good discovery. I wanna work towards the camera, but I gotta work this way too. Another piece of beautiful blue, very tiny though. Oh yeah! Are you kidding me? Guys, I just found a cod marble. Okay, check this one out right over here, everybody. I don't know if Piggy was in front of the camera right there when I found it, but check this out. You can see it's aqua seafoam. It's got a bunch of air bubbles in it. So this is an old cod marble. It's not a regular marble to the best of my assessment. It's pretty small too. I'd say it's about 3/8. So this would have been, as I've talked about before, this would have been inside of the neck of a bottle, and then the carbonization would have pushed it up, and it would have formed a seal against the top where the lip was. You know, a long time ago, kids were known for breaking these bottles open just to get these marbles out, and that's why so few of them are around compared to many of the other styles of bottles that were made when these were prevalent. This style of a bottle was first patented in the 1880s, and you kind of disappears through history about 1930, although there are still some beverage companies that still use these little marbles in their necks, and it's a neat little gimmick if you ask me. I'm just so happy that I found this one, and it's the same spot that I found my other cod marble many months ago, and I'd have to say that I think they're the same shade as well, although this one seems a little bit smaller. That was a great find, wasn't it, Pigster? Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Hi. Hi. I think she's having a good day, everybody. I'm having a great day too, Pig. Okay, now go get into some trouble so I can find a bit more sea glass, okay? You gotta go. 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 I'm sure I'm gonna find something else, sweetie. Okay. Like I said, guys, I think my time's gonna be limited, but there's not too many piles here to pick. There's only one more place to look after this. Oh, nice. Look at that. It's a piece of blue and it's drillable. It's big enough to be drilled. Oh, look at this. Okay, guys. I just found the smallest bead that I've ever seen before. Okay, everybody, you can see I've got it in focus now. It's the tiniest little bead that I think I've ever seen in my whole life. It's got a little bit of metal you can see going right through the middle, and I'd have to say this one here is under 1/4 of an inch. So I'd have to say this one here is probably about 5 or 4 millimeters, and it's really neat because it almost looked like it was a marble when I first saw it. Oops, I dropped it. And another thing I have to say about this, although I'm not going to be putting it on fire, I'm fairly certain that this over here is actually a piece of plastic. It has a little bit of an opalescent tinge to it, but I can just feel it right over here that it is plastic. Oh, look at that. It's a perfectly aged bean right over here, everybody. You can see it's just flawlessly aged. Too bad it's Kelly green and it's not some sort of a rare color. I'll take it though. Anything that's perfectly aged is good for me. Oh, look at this. Oh, Trixie, you're in the way. Come on, Trixie. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, everybody, so this one's really hard to get into focus, but I'm sure you can see that I'm holding in my hand a piece of bonfire glass, and it's actually cornflower blue. You know, this again, as I've talked about, is a really good indicator that you're picking on a rubbish cove if you're finding colors that you probably can assume safely are from an old milk of magnesia bottle or a Noxzema bottle, as opposed to a bunch of consumer beverage bottles that we'd see in the 20th century or late 19th century as well. It's got a bunch of neat creases to it, and it almost looks like it has some iron in it right over here, and the shade, as you can see, is a lot lighter than a cobalt. So sometimes these big rocks can trap better, larger stuff, although they're harder to push through. I guess that theory didn't hold true in the fact that I just found that tiny, tiny piece. Oh, look at this right over here. This is a piece of security glass. You can see it's got the metal going right through the middle. A little bit of aqua seafoam, so it's probably an earlier one, and that is just awesome. Yeah, you can see it in her face there. She's falling asleep. Okay, I'm gonna have to get these girls home real soon, and this means that this is one of my last little spots that I'm gonna get to pick today. And there's still sea glass. You can see it. There's good pieces. There's another good piece right over here, and that's okay because my girls are more important to me than picking the sea glass. So if I can see that if she's tired, she's got to go. And then look right over here. There's another one, even though this is starting to really get good. Check it out. I just found this beautiful cornflower stick. Trixie, dig. Dig, dig, dig right here. Dig. Find the sea glass. Dig, dig, dig. Find the sea glass. Good girl. Good girl, Trixie. Where's the sea glass? Do you see it? She smells something. I don't think she's smelling sea glass, but she's digging. Check out this beautiful dark piece right over here. And it's probably the bottom of a bottle. You can see it right over here. It's got the mold markings. It's really, really dark olive. And now look at this over here, everybody. It's a piece of amethyst glass. Oh, look at that. It's got this ribbing on it right over here. Let me get this into focus. Okay, check this out, everybody. This piece has been broken very recently, but you can see it's got these ribbed lines on it over here, and it's a beautiful piece of manganese glass. You know, I'm really not sure right now if this is a bottle Now that I hold it like this, it absolutely does look like it's the base of a bottle, and I'm pretty sure that I've actually matched this piece a few months ago as well. It's kind of wild how many pieces I found today that are from the past. It absolutely is a blast from the past today, everybody. Look at this. It's another one of these pieces of rubber similar to the one that I threw and knocked my tablet over with many months ago during the winter. So I'm going to take this one off the beach as well with me. I think she knows there's some sea glass over here because you can see she's just sniffing it out. We're just on our way off of the beach right now, and I figured I'd give it a few more kicks, a few more little pushes. Maybe we'll find something cool. That's not this piece right over here. Oh, look at that. I see it. Okay, everybody, look at this right over here. It's going to be hard to see the color tone next to my skin, so I'm going to put it right back down. We can see that this is a piece of pink, and it's absolutely aged to perfection. And then right over here, I think I see something. Is it red? Hold on. This piece right over here, it might even be red. No, it's amber brown, but look at this right over here. Absolutely stellar, this find. Okay, everybody, so you're going to notice the background behind me is a little bit different. I'm down at the Sea Glass Shanty right on the boardwalk at the Joan Harris Cruise Pavilion, and this is where you can find me most days of the summer, as the port offered me a place to connect with people and offer my wares for sale as well. So I wanted to touch on a few things before we end the video. The first thing is going to be this beautiful piece of cornflower blue bonfire, and I'm going to put it next to my milk of magnesia right over here, and you can see that it's a really nice match. Now, it's a lot different than if we put it next to this one over here, this old poison bottle, or a Noxzema bottle, even though it still has the medicine in it. You can see that it is a lot brighter. Now, the difference between this bottle and this one right over here is the amount of cobalt oxide that went into each vessel. So they both have the same ingredient, which is the cobalt, is the same element in it. However, this one has a lot less cobalt oxide in it than this one, and that's what gives it the different hues of blue. Secondly, I also wanted to talk about this beautiful Hemming Gray insulator, because this is probably one of my favorite things to talk about and to show everyone. We can see I have it right over here, and it's got the HEM, and then right over here, I've got to get this properly here because I'm doing this on the fly, everybody, but you can see right over here, it's got the HEM right over here, and that matches perfectly and unequivocally to this insulator right over here. I've talked about it in my previous videos, however, I know I have a lot of new subscribers, so I really wanted to mention this and share it with everybody, that you can see I've got the little kick up right over here, and that old bottle that I dug out of the shoreline in the early spring, and it has that little mammal in as well, that little bit of pronounced groove. Now, I wanted to mention that this over here was added for a few different reasons. The first reason was for structural integrity, because it actually made the bottle a little bit stronger, and usually these champagnes were under pressure. And the second thing was cosmetically, because before the mammolin right over here, you'd have a really nasty pontail scarring from a rod when a glass blower would have made this. Now, the best thing about picking sea glass is we're always learning on the fly, and that's what I wanted to share with you next, was this piece right over here. It's got the G in the I on it. Now, we found this a long time ago. I don't even remember how many months ago it was. And I said that it was a gin bottle in the video. However, when I was digging my bottles with the kids a few months ago, I picked out this Gilby Collins gin bottle that you'll probably remember, because this was like the highlight of the dig for me, other than spending it with my kids. And we can see right over here on the side, it's got the G in the I. So I was right and I was wrong. The G in the I absolutely comes from a gin bottle, but it doesn't spell gin, it spells Gilbey's. So this is going to go in my collection, and it's going to go on the shelf right over there. So if anybody's coming by this summer, I would love to share this story and so many others with you. I really can't thank everybody enough for all your love and positive support. I figured I owed you a much shorter video because my last one came in at 47 minutes, but I found there was just so much useful information, it was really hard for me to edit it down. Every single one of you really means the world to me. I love reading the comments. I want to send a very special thanks out to Dawn in California. Hopefully when the travel restrictions across the border are lifted, her and her mom are going to be able to come and sea glass with me out on the beach, and I'm really excited for that.